how are we doing? All right, well, where do I start? This video is a different sort of video for this channel, one I haven't really done before, and one I don't enjoy making, one I hoped I wouldn't have had to make, but here we are. It's really starting to irk me. Sony, what is going on? What is happening? Have I just lucked out with two different cameras just breaking down on me? Send this one away twice and still it's giving me problems. Today's video is me, I guess, expressing myself, losing love, losing patience with Sony. And man, it upsets me because I love their cameras. I love their lenses. They have the best set of lenses available to anyone. Sigma, Viltrox, Tamron, you know, their own glass, G Master, G lenses as well. Little backstory though, in terms of where I started with my camera journey, content creating. I've been on YouTube for about 12 years now, coming up to 12 years. Well, just past 12 years actually. Doing fitness videos, prank videos, you know, chilly challenges, all the rest of it. And started off on an iPad mini. Terrible quality, no audio that was like this, you know, like portable. It was straight off the iPad. Eventually you start recording stuff on your phone and then you start looking into cameras for YouTube or content creating. And back then there weren't as many mirrorless cameras, if any, that I knew of. So it was DSLR. And I think one of the first cameras I picked up was the Nikon D3500. Now I didn't have a clue how to use it, was just going along with it, didn't really vibe with it. So I ended up getting rid of it. And then I picked up the Canon G7X Mark II. This was before all the TikTok hype, all the influencer hype, where you can actually get it for below retail, brand new and stuff like that. So yeah, got the Mark II, loved it, did a lot of vlogs on it. A lot of photography, really like that camera. And then I just stayed away from YouTube for a couple of years. Sold it, sold all my gear, and that was it. Just took pictures here and there on my phone for Instagram. And then I slowly wanted to get back into YouTube and stuff like that. So yeah, picked up another camera, which I think it was a Canon AED, one of those sort of cameras. So yeah, picked that up, really liked it. Again, fell out of love with YouTube and content creating, end up selling it. It is what it is. You fall out of love with the game, you fall back in love. That's just how it goes sometimes, especially when you're trying to find your feet, realize what you're doing on YouTube or even content creating in general. Went for a whole rebrand, you know, Life of a Broski, that's my main channel with sneakers, fashion, stuff like that. And then I picked up eventually the Canon M50, the Mark I. What a camera, lovely camera. Paired it with the Sigma 16mm and then the 30mm or 35, loved it. Was my go-to for years. That was how I built my YouTube page. It was great. I mean, weren't the best in terms of 4K, but 1080p got me by. Really liked it. Why am I telling you all of this? It circles back around to upgrading to the Sony A7IV, which is what I'm actually recording on right now. Paired up with the G Master 2 16 to 35. Now, some would say dream setup. I would say that too. It is my dream setup. A great setup, and one I didn't think I would have to upgrade for years. Literally years. Maybe the A7V, even A7CII, because that's how long these cameras should last and should last you in terms of quality, features, all that stuff. But it's coming up to around, what, 2.5 years, 3 years maybe? Okay, literally 2 years. I remember getting this camera around July 2023. Wow, time has flown. But yeah, A7IV, great camera. All the features, specs. Do you really need more for a hybrid camera? You know, photo and video. Yes, the FX3 is an amazing cinema camera, as everyone calls it, and great for content creating. Pretty much the go-to for a lot of people. In terms of photos though, not the best. I think it's 12 megapixel camera. This I think has 33 megapixel. Does the job on both ends for me. That's why I wanted it, you know. I could have spared the cash for the FX3, but I was like, I need a bit of photography for my shoes and everything else that I'm photographing. 2 years with this camera, it started to break down. Now, where I mean breaking down, it wasn't something I could pinpoint. Like, what did I do? Why is this happening? Can it be fixed directly for the problem? Ever so often, ever since I updated it, I think to 5.01, I think it is, it just displayed system error. I don't know why, and I couldn't trigger it to tell Sony, this is what's stopping me actually using the camera. It pops up system error every so often. I have to pop out the battery for it to turn back on, which is another headache. Didn't happen too often where I was like, okay, I need to get rid of it. But happened enough where it would be frustrating, especially if I'm trying to live stream or just do something off a whim. So I sent it back. They said that they replaced the motherboard, This was the first time I sent it. And I was like, okay, that sounds about right. It would, and it should fix the problem. Used it for about a week or so, nothing, it was great. And then it started triggering again. And I was like, nah, this is not right. So I ended up opening up another ticket, sending it back to them, and they replaced a lot of stuff. Okay, so I've just found the email to show you exactly what they fixed. The technician replaced the main board again, sensor, TEX stabilizing unit, RL board, don't know what that is, and an 1043 mount. Fully adjusted the camera and updated its firmware to 5.0. You would think all of that has been changed, amazing. It's like a brand new camera with a lot of the things that has been replaced. No, system error again. And I'm just like, is it me? Is it the batteries I'm using? Is it the USBs I'm using to connect it to my MacBook to do live stream, stuff like that? Now, it's just got me thinking, it must be the software. Surely the software is triggering something. So I've done a bit of research, and apparently it's to do with the PC remote function or the live stream function where the Bluetooth's on apparently. And if you turn it on airplane mode, it should fix the problem. But sometimes I monitor my phone with the control app, the monotone control app. So I need the Bluetooth functions here and there. So what do I do? I'm gonna keep my eye on it though and see what I need to do. Maybe I just need to, I don't know, send it back again to see what the problem is. Maybe I need to do some more research, see if anyone else is having this problem. This was one of the reasons I made this video, because it can't be just me. You know, the A7 IV is a very popular camera. And yeah, I just thought maybe this video might help someone. Maybe this video might help me in the comments, you know, something like that. But this video mainly is about losing patience with Sony, because yes, the A7 IV, it could be just a freak thing, you know, software, the unit eventually breaking down after 2 years, which is mad. Maybe it's the other stuff I'm using for it. Like I said, the batteries, the cables, lens, I don't know. Yeah, still got to figure that out. But not long ago, around April 2025, did I pick up the A7C II. Yes, it's basically a mini version to the A7 IV, but that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted a portable version to this camera, do some street photography, travel photography, vlogs, miniature setups compared to the A7 IV. Yes, minus the double dual card SD slot, minus the full HDMI, still possibly my favorite camera, or at least one of the, along with the A7 IV. I thought, let me treat myself, you know, sold my Fuji XM5, which Fujifilm, I'm gonna leave that there. I can't even get into that. Had an FX30 as well, because I was using that mainly for live streams and just taking it here and there where I needed to, because I didn't really want to take out my A7 IV. Great camera, love the FX30. I really miss it because I just popped it on my tripod, live stream, bang. Don't have to do anything. It's always set. APS-C, great sensor. Got my Viltrox 13mm APS-C lens. Great setup, perfect setup for me. Yeah, in terms of live streaming and stuff like that. But I thought, nah, I need a bit more again for photography. So I sold that camera and I picked this up for the same price, around 1,600 after cashback and everything. Took this to Turkey as well. Got some great footage, amazing snaps. But, this camera, again, is giving me problems, and it's not even that old. April, I picked this up. April 2025, for context, it's July, mid-July 2025. Do the maths, okay? Do the maths. What is going on? What is going on? Now, the problem or problems I was having with the A7C II, in fact, no, it was one problem, but it was a big problem. It just wouldn't turn on. The camera wouldn't turn on. Right, so it is on, and it is not turning on at all. Off, on, have to take out the battery, put it back in, and then it turns on. Very annoying. Why? I don't know. It literally, you turn on the camera and then it will just be blank. You can't hear nothing, you can't hear the sensor turning on, the shutter opening, nothing, whatever. And I thought, what's happening here? Again, same thing with the A7 IV. Pop the battery out, pop it back in, 9 times out of 10, it turns back on. So the camera has now crashed. It is off, but it's saying it's still on. I'll turn it on. Nothing. There's nothing on the lens to show that it's covered. The ISO is showing. Just very frustrating. Another problem. For a new camera, For a camera that costs this much, you shouldn't be having these problems at all. A7C II, one of the most popular cameras from Sony. People love this camera. You know, I love this camera. Again, got me thinking, is it me? Is it the batteries I'm using? They're all official Sony batteries, by the way. There's no third-party batteries before you get in the comments. Could it be the way I'm charging the battery, which is a newer battery charger, which is this thing? And yes, Newer is a very trusted company. So I would have thought, you know, wouldn't have been that deep. Is it my fault? Is it me charging the batteries wrong? Should I just charge them straight out the camera? But if I need to charge it on the go, I need something like this. So could it be that? I don't know. Again, could it be software? Because this is where it started to go wrong for me. A7C II had a recent software or firmware update where it added the likes of dynamic active stabilization and other stuff, which I was amazed at. I was like, oh my God, this is like the ZVE1 without it being the ZVE1. Great. Lovely. That's when all the problems started, with the camera not turning on, popping out the battery, all of that stuff. It's literally like gymnastics trying to get this camera to turn on sometimes. Is it me? Am I doing something wrong? Is it software? Is it the hardware, the equipment I'm using, the way I'm charging the batteries? I don't know. I've got about 4 different Sony batteries, so I'm trying to swap them all around to see if it's one specific battery or 2 that is making me have these problems. I don't know what to make of it. I'm speechless, as you can tell. This is why I'm making this video, because I can't be alone. Again, I'm saying it again, like I can't be alone having these problems. 2 of the most popular cameras from one of the biggest camera brands out there, if not the biggest camera brand right now, giving me problems. And it can't be a coincidence. I'm making this because I'm losing patience with Sony. I need your help. I need someone to help me. Do I send it back again? Because I did send it back. I forgot to mention that. I sent it back to Sony because what's annoying, it just passed the 30-day window where I could get a new unit. Fuming. Because I was away, I missed that window. So that's what happened. So obviously they honored the warranty. They took it in. They tried to replicate the problem. Couldn't do it. They replaced the USB housing, the USB-C port, because it's very loose, still very loose. I don't know if they even changed it, but they couldn't replicate the problem. So they couldn't fix the problem. I'm just like, I just don't know what to do at this point. I've taken videos. I'll put it in the video here of what I've been going through. Now, it is first world problems, don't get me wrong, but as a creative, as a person who's invested so much in lenses, in cameras, in accessories, I've got cages, I've got everything you can name for these cameras, and it just does stuff like that. Now, for some people, you're going to be saying, just switch to Lumix, just switch to Fuji, just switch to Canon. Viable, very viable, but it's not cheap to do things like that. And for a lot of the cameras out there from other brands that are great, you know, SR2s and S5IIs, whatever, they just don't have the camera lens selection that I like and I want and like the look of, is what I'm saying. And variety too, because I've got at least 4 lenses where they're all for different scenarios. And I'm just thinking each camera brand has their own problems. Like Canon, certain Canon models and Lumix models now, overheating issues. You know, you got Fujifilm, autofocus issues. I'm not dealing with that again. That's why I sold the XM5. A7C II, I've got to figure this out because maybe I have to drop down a version of the firmware. That might fix it. Same with the A7 IV. I'm leaving it on airplane mode because just for now, just to see how it goes. And this video is me venting basically. Sorry you had to hear this long-winded whinge and moan and sort of therapy session by me, but again, I need your help. This might be helping someone. We're helping each other, you know. Sony aren't perfect. I don't want people to go around saying like, oh, I'm a Sony shill or Sony fanboy, which I am, but I'm also honest. Like, I'm not spending all this money to get defective cameras or like things that are going wrong with it for me to still be like, oh, they're the best on the market. They have no flaws, this, that, because I want to be invited to events eventually and stuff like that. No, I'm gonna tell the truth. Even if it gets me not blacklisted, because it's not that deep. I've only got like 800 subscribers, but you get what I'm saying. Like, if I'm spending the money, I want you guys to be getting what you're paying for, just like me. Like, there's no sugarcoating it over here. Yeah, let's just hope a new firmware fixes these issues with both cameras for me and for a lot of people. Let's see where it goes. I'm going to be updating you soon, hopefully when the problem's fixed or manageable at least, or where I figured it out. You know, where the problem's coming from on both sets of cameras. I am going to be doing an A7 IV video versus an A7C II. I'm going to put the problems aside. I might mention it in that video, but I'm definitely going to be making that video because when I look back at it now, I would definitely pick one over the other. And I didn't think I'd be saying that when I first got one of the cameras. So yeah, that video is going to be made. A7C II versus A7 IV. Can't wait to make that one. That might be the next video I do make just because I'm using these two very heavily in different use cases. Anyway, my people, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to the Tech Waffler Waffle about tech. And yeah, leave all your comments down below, smash a like on this video, subscribe, like, and share. And yes, until the next episode, take care.